Hi everybody, I'm Miss Jessica from EVPL McCullough and I'm here with Harper and we're going to be continuing our Chapter Book Storytime Variety Pack, and the genre that we landed on last time was humor. So we're going to be reading a book that is considered funny, and just reading through it, just the idea of this book made me laugh out loud. So hopefully you find it funny also. So we are going to be reading 𝑀𝑎𝑐 𝐵, Kid Spy, 𝑀AC Undercover, and this is by Mac Barnett and illustrated by Mike Lowry. And this is a part of a series, so this is the first book in that series. And so let's check out what it has to say on the back. The Queen of England is calling and she has a secret mission just for 𝑀AC. My name is Mac Barnett. I am an author, but before I was an author, I was a kid. And when I was a kid, I was a spy. The story you are about to read is true. It actually happened to me. Open this book to find out more about my adventures, but beware, this mission is top secret and very dangerous. I am so sorry, I have to get Harper. Stop that. Okay. All right, so, and you can see just by some illustrations on the back that this is going to be an illustrated book. So that means that throughout this, there are all kinds of pictures, and pictures in books, even when they are chapter books, is a great thing because sometimes it is hard to visualize. So books like this that are illustrated, or even graphic novels, are wonderful to read. They are books, they are literature, and they are wonderful to help when it's hard to get that picture in your mind to connect to what's happening on the page. Okay, so I will show you the illustrations as we are reading this. I will tell you ahead of time, I cannot do a British accent. I will not be attempting to sound like the Queen. I will try a little bit, but just, you know, bear with me. Don't be too mean about how bad I am at it. Okay, now just the beginning of this, so there is a spot for you to put your name. Don't do that. This is a library book, but it's kind of funny that it says this book belongs to, and it says, warning, do not use your real name. All right, so 𝑀AC 𝐵, Kid Spy, 𝑀AC Undercover. Okay. Chapter 1, The Call. Ring, ring, ring. This is the house I grew up in. It is on top of a hill in a little town called Castro Valley. This is a real place. You can look it up. This is really what my house looked like. My mom and I lived there. Since it was just the two of us, I had a lot of responsibilities. I did the dishes, packed my lunches, cooked our dinners, washed the laundry, dusted, vacuumed, and cleaned our rabbits' litter boxes. I wanted a dog. We had rabbits instead. It was also my responsibility to answer the phone. I liked answering the phone, even though it was never for me. One afternoon, the phone rang, and it was for me. It was the Queen of England. Hello, I said. Hello, she said. Can I speak to 𝑀AC? Speaking, I said. 𝑀AC, this is the Queen of England, she said. I would like to ask you a favor. Okay, I said. Whenever somebody asks you for a favor, it is a good idea to ask them what the favor is before you say okay. But I had never talked to a queen before, so I said okay. And then we have, this is me, this is my mom, and then there's the Queen. Wonderful, said the Queen. I will tell you a secret. Last night, somebody stole the crown jewels. No, I said. Yes, said the Queen. This is a favor. You shall find the missing treasure and bring it back to me. Wow, I said. Yes, said the Queen. This was very exciting, but I had a question. I have a question, I said. I hope it is a quick question, said the Queen. Why me? The Queen of England sighed. That is a stupid question. My teacher says there is no such thing as a stupid question. The Queen of England frowned. I could tell she was frowning even over the phone. All right, and we have how I imagined the crown jewels, but it is not accurate. There's his teacher and the Queen frowning. That is just something teachers say in America, but I am not a teacher from America. I am a queen from England. Oh, I said, okay, but still, why me? I'm just a kid. I don't even live in England. Castro Valley is in California. You'd know that if you looked it up. Mac, said the Queen, you are the smartest kid in your class. You have straight A's in every subject except handwriting. I'm working on that, I said. Then it is settled. You shall take the next flight to London. But tomorrow is a school day. I shall write a note, said the Queen. But my mom will be worried about me, I said. I shall write another note, said the Queen. Goodbye. She hung up. There was a knock on the front door. When I opened it, nobody was there, but an envelope lay on our welcome mat for Mac Barnett's eyes only. And then we have California in England, and it is really far. I opened it because I was Mac Barnett. I still am. Inside the envelope was a plane ticket and a stack of colorful British money. It seemed like a lot of money. I couldn't tell for sure because I wasn't British. I'm still not. I went upstairs and packed. Like a good spy, I packed light. I laid out some things on my bed. My Game Boy, 3 books, a toothbrush, a hat, a shirt, and a jacket. Okay, and that's everything. And just for those of you younger kids, a Game Boy was a game system that you could carry around. It had games on it and you would play just on that game system. So kind of like a Nintendo Switch, or just an iPhone that you can play games on. And my favorite blue jeans. They have shiny metal buttons, secret pockets, perfectly faded, a small stain, and slightly ripped knees. Really? They were my only blue jeans. My mom bought me 1 pair at the beginning of every school year. Most kids in my school have many pairs of jeans, but my mom didn't like it when I told her that. Just be glad you have any jeans, she would say. In Russia, jeans are banned. Banned? Against the law. Is that true? I would say. That doesn't seem true. But my mom insisted that it was true, and she only bought me 1 pair of jeans. I put on my jeans, picked up my suitcase, and went downstairs. When I was walking out the door, the phone rang again. It was the Queen of England. Again. Hello? I said. Hello, she said. Can I speak to Mac? She asked. Speaking, I said. I forgot to tell you one thing, said the Queen. Be careful. This mission is extremely dangerous. Goodbye. All right, and then we have his jeans, and then how they are banned in Russia. Chapter 2, Spy Plane. That is how it happened. 1 minute you're just a kid, the next minute you're a secret agent for the Queen of England. One night you're doing a math worksheet. The next night you were flying on a plane to London and you didn't even pack any math worksheets. And we have kid, and now he's a spy. It takes a long time to get from London to California. We flew through the night. The sky outside my window was black. Out on the wing, a big jet engine roared. I wondered how long this mission would take. It was Wednesday, and on Saturday, Derek LaFoy was having a karate birthday party. It would be nice to make it back in time for the party. Of course, I hadn't been invited to Derek LaFoy's karate birthday party. At least not yet. Probably because I was the only boy in class who did not do karate for an after-school activity. Half the girls did karate too. It was the 1980s. Karate was a big deal. You can look that up. My mom worked late, so my after-school activity was extended adventure after-school daycare. That wasn't much of an adventure. I was the oldest one in a daycare by 2 grades. I did my homework, then played chess against little kids until my mom came to pick me up. But now that I was a secret agent for the Queen of England, I figured Derek LaFoy would definitely invite me to his party. Still, I hoped my mission didn't involve any karate. I studied my fellow passengers. And I will tell you that yes, karate was a very big deal in the 1980s. People still do that. So there's karate. We have him playing chess against one of the kids, and he says, sigh, checkmate, yawn, and then maybe he'll get invited. Maybe I was being followed. Good spies are always aware of the people around them. Why was the man behind me wearing sunglasses on an airplane? Was it so I couldn't see he was watching me while he pretended to read the newspaper? What about that woman putting on perfume? Was her bottle really full of perfume, or did it contain knockout gas? And what about that baby? That baby had been staring at me for the past 10 minutes. Was that a regular baby or a spy baby working for the KGB? The KGB doesn't exist anymore, but when I was a kid, the KGB definitely existed. The KGB was a spy agency from the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union also doesn't exist anymore. All right, so we have the guy with the newspaper, some perfume. That weird, creepy baby. And how? Russia does not exist. Or I should say the Soviet Union does not exist. Russia definitely still exists. Back when there was a Soviet Union, the KGB meant, and he has a very long word in Russian. That's Russian. They used a different alphabet in the Soviet Union. It is called the Cyrillic alphabet. You can look that up. In English, KGB means the Committee for State Security, but really it means Soviet spies. Stealing the crown jewels seemed like exactly the kind of thing the KGB would do, which meant that I could be flying straight into the face-off with the KGB. I was playing a super dangerous game of chess against a Soviet spy, and I was much better at chess than karate. This could be very exciting. The man in the sunglasses snored, but it sounded like fake snoring. The woman sprayed more perfume, which smelled gross, like knockout gas probably does. The baby giggled. It was a cute giggle, but also sort of menacing. I was too excited to sleep, so I did what I always did when I needed to quiet my brain. I took out my Game Boy, plugged in my headphones, and played Spy Master. Spy Master was my favorite video game. This is what the box looked like. Okay, so there he is playing chess against a KGB agent, and up here, can see that is what KGB looks like written in Russian, and then we have his Game Boy game. And this is what the game looked like. I know, I wish the graphics were better, but remember this story takes place during my actual childhood in the 1980s. I can't just make something easier because I wish things were different. Still, the box gives you a pretty good idea of how fun the game was. To beat a level, you had to sneak into the KGB headquarters, steal some secret plans from the top floor, then parachute off the roof down into your convertible. The whole time you had to avoid getting smashed by elevators or blown up by the KGB men who threw sticks of dynamite. It was great. I had all 10 high scores. The best part of having a name that is 3 letters long is that the whole flight or the whole thing fits on the high score list of old video games. I was about to beat my high score when somebody tapped me on the shoulder. And then there is him with all the high scores with his name Mac. It was a flight attendant. She was pushing a big metal cart. She smiled and said something. I couldn't hear her because the theme song to Spy Master was still playing loudly in my ears. I took off my headphones. "Something to drink, sir," said the flight attendant. "A glass of milk, please," I said. She handed me a plastic cup. The plane hit a bump. "Oh," said the flight attendant. She unlatched a tray in the seat in front of me and put the milk into a cup holder. "Be careful, you don't want to spill milk all over your jeans." "Thanks," I said. "They're my only pair." "Well, they're very nice," she said. "Perfectly faded." I smiled. They were perfectly faded. She set a plastic tray down next to my milk. "Here's your dinner." I lifted a piece of tinfoil from the tray and found 3 raviolis, 6 green beans, and a cup of chocolate pudding. I poked a ravioli. "Does this have cheese in it?" I asked, but the flight attendant was already moving down the aisle. I ate the pudding first, then the ravioli. I didn't touch the green beans. There must have been sleeping powder in my pudding because my vision swirled and then everything went black. Okay, so we have the flight attendant, we have his tray, and then everything goes black. There must have been cheese in the ravioli because I had really weird dreams. There must have been a thief on the plane because when I woke up, somebody had stolen my Game Boy. And we have his weird dreams. And then we have my hands before I fell asleep, Game Boy. My hands after I fell asleep, no Game Boy. Chapter 3. And that is where we are going to stop today. So if you want to see why the Queen of England has contacted Mac to find the crown jewels, if he does find the crown jewels, what happens? Are there really KGB spies on the plane following him? Where did his Game Boy go? I have so many questions that I have to keep reading to find out. So if you'd like to keep reading, we do have print copies available. We also have an e-audiobook available on Hoopla, which again, listening to something is just the same as reading it. Your brain processes it in just the same way. So there are a couple of ways that you can keep continuing this. And then if you like this story, there are several more in this series about him and his adventures. Okay, so it is time to find out what we are going to be reading next time. So be back in just a second. All right, so we are going to find out what we are going to be reading next time. So we have spooky, mystery, realistic fiction, adventure, Miss Jessica's choice, science fiction, historical fiction, humor, and fantasy. And just a reminder that if I happen to land on something that we have done recently, I will probably redo it just so that we can get some variety. That's the whole point of this. All right, let's see what we get. I don't think that's ever happened before. Wow. And it still fell off. Let's try that again. Ooh, spooky. All right, so next time we will be reading something that is considered a little spooky or maybe has a little bit of creepiness in there. So if you are not interested in listening to that, definitely skip that week, but then we hope to see you again that next Friday when we put up another chapter book story time. So next time, it'll be spooky. Can't wait to see you. Bye. Oh, before I say goodbye, I completely forgot all the other things I wanted to mention. You can go to EVPL.org to get all of our different resources, whether it is putting a book on hold or getting a digital copy of something. Also to see what different programs that we have, different activities that we're offering, and different things that we're doing online for you. And so exciting, you can come into our buildings to get materials again, so definitely stop by and visit us while you're picking some things up. And thank you again so much for joining us. I hope to see you again soon. Bye. And then Harper says goodbye too.